if you don't already know, I am big on spirituality, astrology, horoscopes, numerology, so on and so forth. So, for today's episode, I will be discussing astrology. However, what I will be discussing is your rising sign. Your rising sign is also known as your ascendant sign, and that it represents the way other people see you. It's like the general impression people have on you, like their instant reaction, the first impression you give off to the world, okay? So I'm so excited. Let's get into it. Today's episode, I will be discussing horoscopes. And what I'll be discussing today is your rising sign. A lot of people are aware of their sun sign. That's when people typically tell you, hey, I'm a Pisces, or I'm a Leo, or I'm a Virgo, etc., etc. Your rising sign, however, and that rising sign is also known as your ascendant, it represents the way others see you, like your general impressions on people, how people view you, the first impressions. Rising sign is sort of like your identity and your outlook on the world as well. So we will dive deep into that. So your rising sign, or your ascendant sign, of course, it shows your first natural reaction to new people and situations, and just how you act and cope with your day-to-day issues, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'll go down the list here of all the signs, and I'll describe what does it mean to be maybe an Aries rising, or a Leo rising, or a Taurus rising. So we're going to dive into that. And you may be wondering, so how do I find my rising sign, right? So I will provide a link in the description box. So you can also just Google natal chart generators, okay, or calculators. I like Alibaba. I think that's what that one's called. They have a few. They have Cafe Astrology. It's a few websites that you can go on, but I will link in my favorite one below. And to get your rising sign, you will need to know your time of birth, okay? A lot of times you can find out your birth certificate, maybe one of your parents have a baby book with your time in there. If you don't know the time you was born, it is recommended for you. You can use 12 o'clock noon as your time of birth. However, for the most accurate description of your rising or ascendant sign, you will need to know your accurate time of birth. I don't want to make this podcast too long, so I'm just going to go down the list here and just describe some of all of the placements, actually, their risings and the characteristics of your sign and rising, okay? And all right, let's start with Aries rising. Aries are known to be very brave, independent, strong-willed. Some of the negative ones could be a little hot-headed, feisty, impatient. Overall, they see you guys very eager, restless, having very high energy. For the appearance of a typical Aries rising, it's an athletic build, okay? And some famous Aries rising signs, Kourtney Kardashian, Rihanna, and Shaquille O'Neal. Now let's move to Taurus risings. Taurus can be seen as reserved, very slow to act, strong-willed, very self-indulging. They enjoy the finer things in life. So they're going to have like the best quality food, nice dishes. They're going to have a very broad food taste, right? Very materialistic too when it comes to like clothing, for example. Appearance-wise, Taurus risings can be known to be on the heavy side, occasionally maybe curvy or big boned, as people would say. Some celebrities who do have the Taurus rising, Mariah Carey, Miley Cyrus, and Meg Thee Stallion. So let's move on to Gemini risings. Gemini risings are known to be talkative, very curious, excitable, fun. Some of the negative characteristics could be hyper. People think, you're all over the place. at times, and people can describe you as being two-faced. I know Gemini is like a twin sign, so that two-faced, that double personality that could be coming in there. The characteristics of a Gemini rising: slender, tall, a very high fashion model build. So think of like the models on the runway, very high fashion, tall, slender, that type of look. Known celebs with that Gemini rising will be Lady Gaga, Sandra Bullock, and Amy Winehouse. All right, let's move right on to Cancer risings. Cancer risings are known to be nurturing, sensitive. They can tend to be homebodies, and that is the person everyone tends to want to vent to, okay? Physical characteristics of a Cancer rising: short and stocky, curvy, round faces, and they are known to be attractive. Some examples of celebrities with that Cancer rising: Tyra Banks, the great Adele, and Bill Gates. Let's move on. Leo rising: confident, vibrant, fun, carefree, lives in the moment, tall and beautiful. And that's honestly funny because I'm actually a Leo rising, and I'm very introverted actually, and people's first impression of me as a Leo rising, they think I am very just, outgoing and confident. So that's very interesting to see that here. Characteristics of a Leo rising: big hair. They're going to have that big mane. Think of the lion symbol, right? For Leos, that big hair, big mane. They're going to have their appearance is going to make you kind of stop and stare at them because it's big hair, tattoos, that cat-like appearance, right? So, they may have the cat eye look, and their looks generally just make you kind of do a double take on average. Some famous celebrities: Tina Turner, see there I go with the big hair, big mane, Taylor Swift, Marilyn Monroe, and J-Lo. Very interesting. So let's move right along to Virgo risings. Virgo risings are known to be organized. People would view them as like the people who just have it all together. They kind of have their life together. They have it all. And Virgo risings tend to love animals and nature. Characteristics of Virgo risings: innocent, angelic, clean image, dark hair and eyes, and they tend to appear younger than their age. That's a plus. If you're a Virgo rising, you may look a little younger. Some famous Virgo rising celebrities: Kris Jenner, Dolly Parton, and Tom Hanks. Interesting. So let's move on to Libra risings. Libra risings are known to be sweet, charming, sometimes indecisive, and very sociable. Characteristics of a Libra rising: slender and tall, very unique features, crowd stand out. So their features are typically so unique that they just stand out in the crowd, right? And they have very nice smiles on average. Some famous celebrities with that Libra rising: the one and only Beyonce, Doja Cat, and Britney Spears. Wow. So let's move on to Scorpio. Scorpio risings are known to be mysterious and quiet and intense, sometimes standoffish. Their physical characteristics: their eyes. There's something about their eyes that just draw you in. So whether maybe they have a nice shape eye or a very just bright eye, right? Or colored eyes. It's something about their eyes that will draw you in on average, and they typically have strong, muscular facial features. And some famous celebrities here with the Scorpio rising: Hillary Clinton, Prince, Katy Perry, Janet Jackson, and Martha Stewart. So let's move on to Sagittarius risings. Sagittarius risings are known to be fun and outspoken, opinionated, and blunt. Some of their characteristics be full features, thick hair, and slender faces. Some celebrities with that Sagittarius rising: Kim Kardashian, Oprah Winfrey, and Ellen DeGeneres. For example, let's move on to Capricorn Risings. Capricorn Risings can be seen as mature, very grounded, driven, ambitious, and they are typically successful, especially in business and career on average. So this is very interesting because celebrities with that Capricorn Rising, Kylie Jenner, Naomi Campbell, and Lorde. Okay. So let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius's risings. They're known to be intellectual, very innovative. And they march to the beat of their own drum. Like they just do what they want to do when they want to do it. Some of the characteristics of a Aquarius rising: colorful hair. It's really just their hair. Like to me, I feel that Aquarius risings express themselves on average through their hair, whether their hair is colorful, that short and edgy hairstyle, or they're just known to switch up their hair a lot, okay? And some famous Aquarius rising celebrities is Selena, Nicki Minaj, Zendaya, and Christina Aguilera. And with these celebs named here, I can definitely see the hair. They all had very nice, different, or at times colorful hair, right? Like Nicki, Christina Aguilera. Yeah, I love that. So, last but not least, Pisces Horizon. To other people, you can appear to be like in your head, this always daydreaming, very dreamy, compassionate. However, you're very approachable, kind, and receptive. Characteristics of a Pisces rising on average: thin, small feet, shy, soft-spoken, and short. Interesting. And some famous Pisces rising celebrities: Whitney Houston, Billie Eilish, and the notorious B.I.G. Thank you so much, y'all, for listening to me today. I will provide my social media down below. Please like and subscribe and share. I'll also provide the platforms where the podcast is available if you would like to listen to this on another platform. Thank you so much and have a great one.